I'd like to think he has left us a better version of himself, more experienced, more skills. So we definitely need to maybe onboard 1 or 2 more people to try and get multiple teams out. It's Friday. We're collecting the new van. The admin assistant is going to be coming on board.
Okay, so we're about finished with the job in Tomental. We made the nice sleeper bed, the vertical sleeper bed in the corner, and we've got our raised bed.
We're essentially 3 men down. So yeah, it's quite frustrating not having the ability to have multiple things on the go at the same time. Good morning guys, it is Monday. It is a new week here at Morrison Lawn Landscape. Don't know if you can hear me for the wind, but we are currently in the quarry getting some material, just waiting for the loader to come back. So I thought I'd take a little wander, pull the camera out, because I've been procrastinating doing that because it's not been on the forefront of my mind. And that's one thing that we do sometimes struggle with, is picking up the camera, and I say me picking up the camera and, you know, I guess making the time to come on and speak, because let's be honest, this isn't what is in the forefront of my mind all the time. At the very beginning it was fresh, it was new, etc. But because this is like the sort of normal now, week in, week out, the thought of picking up the camera sometimes when my head isn't in it isn't always easy. I do apologise in advance for any sort of lack of consistency. I am trying to run a business at the end of the day, and yeah, this isn't obviously on the forefront of my mind, but the whole idea of me starting it, and for you guys watching who enjoy it, yeah, I'll do my best to document. So like Dan at Asheville always says, this is the most perfect sort of haulage you can ever do. Taking stuff away and running stuff in. And that's exactly what we're doing. So, got the digger back out on hire. And remember, they're half meters. One day I'm gonna get a punch in the face one day. Today's not the day, man.
That's it, man. Enough of your shortest jokes. Oh, look at that. Nice.
Fresh blade?
Fresh blade. Nothing like giving ourselves space to work.
Just heading back with another load of material away from here. Dropped them another load of gravel, so they're going to get that bottom bit finished off, which is looking good, I might add. It's just completely transformed that bottom section of the garden compared to the grey sort of dull gravel that was there before. Well, that gravel is the most exciting thing anyway, but yeah, compared to what was there before, it's totally made a difference. So my plan is, after that, go and get another load of chips. They can start that top half, and then I'm probably going to run back with that other last load of material to come away. Then I'm going to run in some topsoil to start topping up that area of the lawn. Now, I could probably get the grab lorry in, but the only issue with the grab is I can't get it right next to the lawn. I don't think you would be able to get it in a place that it can reach over, take out the back of the lorry and dump onto the lawn. In the meantime, I'm just going to run it in myself. It'll be good to get that job wrapped up this week. We also want to get the Tom and Towel job pushed on and hopefully wrapped up too. How realistic that'll be, I don't know. We are Damien down. Damien is currently over in Italy, not working this time, but he is actually on holiday. We have put a job advert out for someone else, and I haven't sat down to properly look through the applications that we have. No one's really from the sort of landscaping background, but spoke to a friend about that, and we kind of both agreed that if someone is keen and willing to learn and takes things on quickly, like Damien for example, Damien didn't have much of a background in this at all, and I remember the day that he first used a strimmer and it was like, is this going to work? And since then he has came on leaps and bounds and is now taking charge on the fences and stuff, taking charge of his own jobs. That fence back there he pretty much did not by himself. Mike was there helping him put the posts in, but the rest of it he did by himself. And might I add, that has only been in the space of like a year and a bit. So sometimes finding people who are keen and can pick up things quickly and learn, that's sometimes just better than someone who's so-and-so done it before, because I've had people in the past that have had all this experience, done this, that, and next thing, they don't practice what they preach. It's always a misconception finding like experienced people. And yes, if you can find someone who's really experienced and is good and can do what they say they can, then you've scored. There's a lot of people out there, however, who say they can do all these things but never follow up on it. So I've got that to kind of look through, because obviously Alex has left us now. Alex has gone on to another job. He got offered a good opportunity, so all the best to him. And I've always told Alex he's welcome back if he ever wants to, and if he wants to come out on the odd Saturday, then he can. I'm not a believer in burning bridges unless it's obviously not amicable. If someone totally stabbed you in the back and it didn't work out. Alex started with us with little experience in the landscaping world and the fencing side of things, and what we do in a short period of time, and let's be real, on a part-time basis as well. I'd like to think he's left us a better version of himself, more experienced, more skills under his belt, and giving him a bit of a kickstart to his working career. Because although the industry he's away to go and work in now isn't related to landscaping, it's amazing how these skills are all transferable and stuff. And again, just working with people and being in that sort of team environment. We have got a gap to fill, and obviously as we approach our busy season now, it's in my opinion that it is not a flex to be, it's a hard one this. It's a flex in a sense that yes, if you're booked up for 5 months in advance, that's good. You are obviously in high demand, and you've got guaranteed work. However, that could either mean, and it depends what you want to do and get from your business, but that could either mean 1, you're not charging enough, 2, you have the ability to scale if you want to. Again, what do you want from your business? I feel like turning down work and like pushing it away, isn't always great. But again, it depends. That totally depends on what you want to do. If you're happy with just like a small team and knocking out good work, getting a steady sort of income, then that's fine. Each their own. But from my point of view, with trying to sort of grow a business, etc., the more work that we can take on and the more work we can deliver quicker, the better. So we definitely need to maybe onboard 1 or 2 more people to try and get multiple teams out. It's very difficult at the moment, chopping and changing all the time from jobs. You've got to be flexible, and 1 minute the guys could be on a planting job, 1 minute they could be on a hedge trimming job, and the next minute they're putting up a fence. But I guess the more diverse of a team you've got, you could possibly then get them to work in their own little teams and deliver a project from start to finish. You know what I'm trying to say. Instead of chopping and changing all the time, have a little bit of consistency. But again, that being said, a lot of people like the variety. I guess it's that balancing act. What we've also got to be careful of as well is taking on too many people, bearing in mind the winter. The winter can be tough. We've obviously, we're not out of the water yet, but we've obviously survived this winter. You've got to be careful that you don't take on too much liability, and when I say liability, it's too much responsibility, I guess, in terms of people's wages, because you don't want to. I've always been careful with employing people, and I've been very transparent in what it actually means to be working outside up here in Scotland, in the Highlands of Scotland, in the winter. And at the end of the day, if the business isn't generating revenue because we can't get to the work, you've essentially not got a wage. And whether that's my responsibility or their responsibility, like, it's not my fault there's snow on the ground and we can't get to the job. It's also not your fault. So I guess it's that sort of balancing act again. I've always preached and said I will try my best to offer enough services. I will try my best to diversify so we can still work and operate in the winter months. But I am going to stop now because I'm rambling. Heading back through to get another load of gravel, dump this load, and then head back to the job. Oh, and by the way, I might add, a lot of people think it's, it's easy just running back and forth. What an easy day's work it is, just running back and forth with a trailer and getting materials. Must be hard going. It's hard going up here because you're left with your own thoughts. You've got too much time to think, and that can be dangerous sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I do wish it wasn't me doing this, but someone's got to do it. And if the guys are busy on the job site, we're already kind of short-staffed at the minute anyway. Their time's best spent on site doing what they're good at. Also bearing in mind that I have got the pickup that can tow. So, we are over in Tomintoul on a Tuesday. We've had delivery of nearly 40 tonne of chips from our local quarry, Broomhill. We use this gravel quite regularly, and we're now at the finishing stages of putting sort of the gravel right the way around the house onto the driveway. The ramp is looking way better than the previous builder had done. We're going to have a handrail fitted to this. I'm probably going to get a joiner to do this, just to make it look a little bit nicer than just sort of fence. We're going to have to put a small gate, fence off an area in here, just so they can keep the dog retained into the garden. The plan was to initially put the gate down here, however, thought it'd be a bit awkward with coming down the ramp, etc. So yeah, we've decided against that. It is a very windy day here in Tomintoul, and it's not proving easy to lay Taram out and yeah, do all that fun stuff. First gust of wind and it's blown up into the air, but we're getting there. The guys are cracking on. So once we get rid of this pile of gravel, we'll see how much we need. I'd imagine it's going to do most of the distance. We're going to lose quite a few tonne around the side of the house and then work our way out to the front. We've got the turf coming for this on Thursday, so the turf will arrive Thursday. We will get that laid on Friday, weather depending. We're also going to be picking up some plants to plant up the beds, so Kyle is very happy about that. So yeah, it is slowly coming together. That, by the way, is a window for their sliding doors that has arrived. It apparently weighs 150 kilos, so it's going to be interesting to move without breaking. But basically, the window that's there shattered. It was nothing to do with us. It just shattered by itself, and apparently it can happen with the movement and stuff. So they've had it replaced, or getting it replaced. proud moment.
You can feel it.
No gloves, that's my advice.
Alright, put it down the line.
You, you lose £5 every time you hit the barrel. Oh, back heavy. Can't wait to show Damien. Damien Kyle's officially better a digger than you. Right then, I've just left the guys to it there. They are cracking on. It was a bit of an admin sort of morning for me. I also had a Zoom meeting at 11 o'clock. So after that I headed out to the job to drop off some more Taram for them. And I can't remember if I've already said that. Now just heading back now. It's 2 o'clock. I've got some stuff to organise, and then we've also got a careers event at the local school tonight. So we have been invited to that, and I need to go and get stuff ready, banners and stuff, posters, that sort of stuff. So I'm on my way to do that now. Looking forward to getting that job wrapped up this week. It will be very good to see the back of Tom and Towel. It's been a good job, but it's just kind of, I guess, just with the way the job's developed and progressed and stopped and started, it's quite a, yeah, it's just been quite tedious going back and forth there. And in an ideal world, we'd have enough team members just to throw at it and just get it done. But we've constantly had to take time away, go and do other jobs, etc. But nonetheless, it's been a good job, great clients, and it'll be a good one to add to the portfolio, because it has been literally a blank canvas, full, stripped back to the basics. Although there was nothing very much there, but yeah, we've done the whole garden, so nothing too fancy, nothing too technical, just pretty straightforward. Everything's pretty linear and in theme with the house, I guess, because the house is just a rectangle shape. So we've got the rectangle garden, parallel path, parallel lawn, bed, etc. So yeah, it certainly looks pretty good. So yeah, but what a windy day. It's the best day for doing Taram. No, it is not. One thing I'm conscious of as well is this vehicle has been doing such an amount of miles lately. We are currently on 6,997 miles, 0.3 miles, 2.7 miles off of 7,000, and I got the thing in December. So yeah, it's been flawless so far, touch wood. I'm glad it's been working, but I'm also just cautious of like the wear and tear you put on the vehicle. Yes, it's got to earn its keep, and such, you're paying for it, it might as well be used, but by how much? It has been a great workhorse though. Hello, it is Wednesday afternoon. We've just popped through to the quarry to get another load of topsoil from our friend Colin. And Colin watches the videos, I believe, so hello Colin, thank you very much. This morning the guys headed through to Tom and Towel. Kyle headed through to Green's Nurseries to collect the plants that we have ordered for the Tom and Towel job. The bed along the fence and the bed in the corner that we made. Kyle has taken the responsibility of choosing what we need to go in there and planting it up as well. Mike, Ed and James is a young lad that has came out for a couple of days, just work experience, see how he gets on. They headed through to do the gravel and get that finished, so I think they're pretty much finishing with that. I was up in Inverness, I was getting some materials this morning, I was getting Taram and also a gate for this job in Boat Garden here. We had ordered a 9-foot gate and a 3-foot gate, but the position of the post we could not get where we wanted because of a clay pipe that was running through. So we've moved the post in a foot and we've reduced the gate by a foot. Got that at the site. I've now just picked up this soil. I'm going to take it back through to that job. I'm going to leave the trailer there for Mike and Ed when they come back through. They're just finishing off in Tom and Towel and they're going to head to Boat to crack on with that. After that, I'm going to head and grab the plant trailer and head over to Tom and Towel and get the digger away from there, because the digger's been there for long enough and we could really do with it back in town. That is the plan of action. Once again, the Ranger is busy hauling material left, right and centre. It's now hit 7,000 miles of touchwood flawless driving and is certainly earning its keep. Things are hopefully on the up. We are hopefully approaching the end of these projects. Good to get them over the line and just get on to the next things. The season is just around the corner, so we'll be having to get ready for that. The admin assistant is going to be coming on board in a few weeks' time, so there's a lot to do, and I often lie in bed at night and get flooded with all the thoughts of the things that I need to do, should be doing, haven't done, and yeah, it almost keeps you awake at night. But what I need to do right now is kind of knuckle down and crack on, I guess. The sort of current position we're in financially and also the size of the team, I'm going to have to sort of get back on board, jump in, sort of on the tools again, be involved a bit more, just to try and push things on and essentially just have more of an output, try and utilise weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, just to try and get out of that rut that the sort of 2 weeks off at Christmas has left us in, and also just many other sort of aspects of things, staff being off, time away, jobs not getting completed yet, so that's the thing. We've just got to knuckle down for this next wee while. Things are improving. I've replied to a few job applications this morning, so hopefully start trying to move the needle with that. The way things are currently, we could take on a number of staff. I've just got to be careful with the winter, overcommitting to someone and guaranteeing them a wage when coming into the winter, I might not be able to guarantee them that. It's a fine balance, because if you've got that much work on, you want to get it done as soon as possible and keep teams busy, but when it dries up, you're chasing your tail, so it's a constant fine balance. But obviously coming into the growing season now, with the grass cutting starting, that's going to take up a good bit of time. We'll probably look at some seasonal people so that we don't have that commitment going into winter, and then obviously aiming to keep that sort of key core team going through the winter months. And I've always said it to the guys, like, your hours through the summer when you can work a little bit longer, because come the winter time the hours will probably be reduced due to the dark nights and also just the weather, the limited hours. So a lot to think about, a lot to do, but yeah, the ins and outs of growing and running a business. This is what you see here, folks. Go for it.
Okay, so we're about finished with the job in Tomental. We made the nice sleeper bed, the vertical sleeper bed in the corner, and we've got our raised bed, which will have turf on it by the end of the week on the left-hand side. And we got the brief to plant up the beds. So what I did is just went with a minimalist planting, very low maintenance, obviously quite hardy plants that we need for here. The plants along this fence can handle the shade, and we've given space for them to grow and for the owners to be able to plant up as they go if they want some annuals. So what we got for that bed is we've got some nice spirea, which lose their leaves obviously in winter, but come spring, summertime, they'll be beautiful white flowers. Then we've got some lovely little rhododendrons, dwarf rhododendrons. These will be yellow. The name is Wren. They've got a nice dark leaf which will complement the white flowers beautifully. And we've got some good old hardy carex, which looks a little bit weather beaten now, but it'll be beautiful come summertime. Very hardy plants. Nice to use variegated plants in dark spaces because it just brings out like a highlight, lightens up the space. And then I went with a few primroses just as a test. They are hardy, they are perennial, so they do come back every year. They should be fine. If we get a bit of snow, they might take a bit of beating on the leaves, but they won't die. They will live and they will bloom again come summertime. And they are absolutely stunning quality plants. Right, that's the one bed. The little bed, we got some, I think it's dogwood is the name, some sorbus. So a nice architectural plant when they are without leaf, because you've got these beautiful red stalks. That combined with our lovely carex, another type of carex, bronco. It's also got a red tinge to it, which will look really nice with the dogwoods. And then some good old hardcore vinca, which will creep through the beds and then also cascade nicely over the edge. Yeah, beautiful tough plant. Nice little flowers on it too. And then some scabious, which although they don't look like it, they are very tough and hardy, and they should do fine up here. So those will go nicely in between the grasses. there we go. Yeah.
I can tell you're in your element here.
Ah, thank you. It's lovely.
Hello folks, it is Thursday afternoon. Haven't really been filming too much today, just kind of been on the go to be honest, trying to get these projects over the line. As you've seen there, the guys have been firing the turf down. Once again, I'm running material in and out of the job. I know we're probably going to get a lot of comments of like, why don't you get a lorry or grab lorry or something or get it delivered? But the logistics of not having anywhere on site to store the things, not being ready, having to take stuff away and then take stuff in to replace it, the trailer has been the best option in my opinion. Unlike the Tom and Towel job, the guys had 2 lorry loads of chips because the area and the logistics allowed for that. So there's a time and a place for both. I do appreciate that I'm using this thing quite a lot, and theoretically if I wasn't here I'd probably have to leave the guys with this pickup or arrange some other lot of transport. The crafter, I don't know what the towing capacity of the crafter is, but it's only a 2 litre, so it's quite gutless. But it could put the trailer on. I think it's around 3 tonne it can tow, being a 7 tonne gross. Maybe 3 tonne. We're getting these jobs done. Guys made good progress in Tom and Tell yesterday. Kyle got everything planted up, which was great. We have the turf for both jobs, so the guys will have finished the turf now, and they're probably waiting for me to come back with this gravel, get the gravel in, work away from the back of the garden out. And then the next sort of time-consuming bit would be to lay the slabs for the path at the front. Still got to hang the gate, etc. So yeah, hoping to get the majority of this job finished this week. Probably have to go back on Monday to do the path, etc. But Tom and Towel should hopefully be wrapped up. So we are nearing the end of these projects. I know I touched on it before, but it's quite frustrating at the moment not having the numbers that we need to keep multiple teams on the go. We have got Ed, Mike and Kyle here today, and the young lad James. He's out, but Tommy's off ill. Alex is obviously not with us anymore, and Damien is on holiday. So we're essentially 3 men down, 2 teams. So yeah, it's quite frustrating not having the ability to have multiple things on the go at the same time. It's just the way it's worked out. We are looking to take on a couple more members of staff. We've got someone lined up in May to come on a seasonal basis, who he's came out before, a mate of mine actually, so when he comes back he'll be starting in May. And yeah, also got to meet with the people who have sent in applications for the position that we've put out. A lot to do. I also just got email confirmation that we have won the contract that I tendered for multiple grounds maintenance sites, a retail park in Aviemore and 3 in Inverness. So that is our first sort of tendering process, which was quite a simple tendering process, but yeah, we were successful in the tender. Again, I've maybe spoke about it before, but the whole commercial side of things is quite hard to gauge and price, to know where you're at. I mean, we won the majority of it. There was just one site in Elgin that we didn't get. So yeah, it's We were obviously successful. Did I charge enough? Time will tell. It's a learning curve. The whole contract is probably worth around the £7,000 mark, but there's not an awful lot. It's like monthly cuts, spraying odd time a year. So yeah, the scope isn't absolutely huge, but it's good to get our foot in the door with the company, and it also might lead to more work. We also have the opportunity to tender for our price for any sort of project work that needs to be done on site, anything that gets damaged or needs repaired, etc. In the landscaping side of things. That was quite a nice thing to read earlier. I know I'm a big guy, but this thing makes it look worse than it is. Been a busy week, trying to crack on, still trying to find that balance of being on the tools and then also getting back to people, looking at jobs. The joys of running a small business. It's Friday. We're collecting the new van. So we are in the Maxis. The Maxis Deliver 9 to be exact. I had touched it in previous videos that we were going to get this van. I am a man of my word, and we have got this van. I'd ordered it probably over a month ago, but we were waiting for March to come to put it on a 25 plate, purely just to probably increase the value of it. I wasn't in a big rush to get it, so it was fine to wait till March. So the idea of this van is to have it kitted out for the landscaping squad. Basically to try and make sure that we've got every single tool that we need in the van, that stays in the van, that has its space in the van. To one, keep tools dry and secure and just make things a bit more efficient. Having to take tools in and out the van all the time is a bit tedious. Having your set tools that you need to take in and out, yes, it's fair enough to say like I might need a cement mixer on the day, but like you want to have something kitted out so you have generic tools to cover like a wide basis of work. And obviously all of our vehicles, apart from the Crafter, which has got a little bit of storage in the back, are open body vehicles. So the idea is to get this kitted out, shelved, and store all the tools it needs. Quite a reasonably priced van in comparison to, say, a Transit, hence why I've went for it, because the price tag was just too appealing. For transparency, this one new cost around 22,000 plus VAT, 23,000. To buy a Transit, you are probably talking upwards of 40 grand, depending on the spec and everything. So for a vehicle, for essentially one of the guys that isn't going to be doing high miles, you can see the sort of appeal in the price. It's got a 125,000 mile or 5-year warranty, and you can't really go wrong with that. Now I've heard horror stories. I had someone in the comments telling me not to get a Maxis. You're going to hear that with every vehicle you get. I heard that with my Ranger, I've heard it with the Crafter, and there's a lot of these in the road just now, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna take a punt and get one. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's got all the bells and whistles, Apple CarPlay, reversing camera, aircon, cruise control, which I haven't figured out how to work yet, but yeah, definitely a good going little van. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on with it.